Hi folks, the real estate numbers are in for October. I have your insights. My name is Santo Sessa with 3 Max Premier. I got a lot of good news and some news that is kind of hard to figure out. So let's get right into it. When we look at the Market Watch, now the Market Watch covers all the GTA. So as far out as Hamilton, north to Barrie, way out past Oshawa, lots of rural and the city, all the GTA. And we're going to compare all home types, and we're going to look at what you're seeing up here. We're looking at everything sold on the Toronto Real Estate Board for October that just passed compared to October last year. It's important you understand what we're looking at here. So sales are up by 14%. Great news. So we're buying more homes. Prices are up year over year by 5.5%. So sales are up, prices are up. Sounds good so far, right? Okay, well, let's look at Vaughan in the same way. We're looking at all home types, and we're looking at everything that happened in Vaughan for October this year to October last year. Sales are up 20%. So there's a lot more activity this October than there was last year. Active listings at the bottom here. Active listings are down by 31.3. So they're down by a third. That's a lot of, there's a lot less inventory available this October than there was last year. Months of inventory is much lower. 42.7% lower. We've got 2.4 months of inventory this year, where last year was almost double at over 4 months of inventory. And here's one of those strange things I talk about. So if you kind of just picture, sales are way up by 20%. Active listings, the properties available for sales, are way down. So we're buying more. There's less available for sale, supply and demand. You kind of figure that should put an upwards pressure on price, but average price actually dropped in Vaughan by 1.2%. Now, what I'm talking about is not an exact science. When I say less available for sale and we're buying more, excuse me, that should put an upwards pressure on price. Sometimes there is a bit of delay, so I expect the increase in price to maybe happen next month. But let's look at more of a month-to-month basis, because what I just explained compares prices and activity to 12 months ago. That was a year ago, but what happened last month? What's the trend? What are we looking at today? So when we look at all of Treb, all home types, well, look, we can see that sales increased from September to October. They've actually been going up the last 3 months by 8.5%, which is, anytime things are going up, that's normally good unless it's months of inventory. When we look at prices, although from September to October, prices went up just a little bit by 1.1%. When we look at the last 2 months, prices have actually gone up 7.5%. And October's average price for all the GTA of $852,000, that's a 29-month high. So those people that are thinking, prices are, I'm waiting for them to go down further, you've been waiting for a long time, because it doesn't seem like they're really going down much. They could month by month dip, but overall, they're up. When I talk about the all of Treb, I'm never really comfortable talking about that and comparing it to your neighborhood, just because it includes rural properties, it includes a vast area. So this graph here is just for the city of Toronto. So for August, September, October, we can see a steady growth in sales. And from September to October, sales are up over 10%. Now, prices went up slightly from September to October by 1.3%. But if we look at prices from August to September, from August of $816,000 to October of $925,000, they've gone up more than $100,000 over the last couple months. And that's, this is just the city of Toronto. We compared to what happened a year ago. prices are up 6.4%. Again, this is all home types. That's just for the city of Toronto. Looking at closer to home here for Vaughan, well, sales are up by 31%. So lots of activity. Sales shot up, but prices have been relatively steady. Now the June price of $1,017,000, that was a record price. When we look at what's happened since June, although one month is down, then up, then down and up, it's been relatively steady. So I'm not so concerned there. And when we look at the three cities combined, of all home types, we can see the red line here, Vaughan. Vaughan has an average price that's higher, well, higher than all the GTA, but also higher than the city of Toronto. And this goes back to August last year, and it's been higher, and it's almost always higher. Well, that's because half of Toronto sales are condo sales, generally lower price, and half of Vaughan sales, approximately half, are detached houses, which generally have a higher price. So that's why the Vaughan graph and average prices is higher than the city of Toronto. Let's take a closer look at detached house. So far I've been talking about from 10,000 feet. Let's get a little bit lower to ground level. Let's look at Vaughan detached. So sales shot up 39.8%. Can you imagine? It's almost 40% from one month to another. Prices have been declining though the last couple of months, and they dropped a little bit from September to October. And again, it's not that alarming to me, because month to month prices do go up, do go down. They can't go up forever. But the August price of $1,282,000, that was a high price. So if they come down a little bit from then, it's not the end of the world. And here are the three areas here. We got Vaughan, City of Toronto, and all the GTA, the Toronto Real Estate Board, for detached homes only. And here's now where you see Vaughan and City of Toronto kind of jockeying for price. Now, Vaughan is the red graph here, and at the end you'll see that the City of Toronto average price is higher than Vaughan's detached prices. But looking at September to October, all three of these graphs, they all show a decline in the average price of detached homes. Again, getting closer and looking more ground level in Vaughan, when we look at the four home types, prices are pretty stable. There's nothing really that shoots out as alarming, and townhouses and semis and condos have been very, very steady in price. But here's something that's really interesting. When we look at the months of inventory, here's where it's one of those, a little bit strange type. We look at from May to August, we can see months of inventory, 3.5, 3.6, 3.4, and we can see in that time period, prices creeping up. Then in September, months of inventory, again, this is for detached houses, months of inventory jumped to 4.6, and we saw a decline in average price, which is the way it's supposed to be. As months of inventory go up, prices go down. As months of inventory go down, prices tend to go up. Well, October months of inventory for detached homes dropped down to 3 months. Prices also dropped, which kind of goes against what I just said a minute ago. I suspect we are going to see next month the market reacting according to kind of the way months of inventory normally react. But when we look at months of inventory for all the home types, the average of all home types is 2.4 months of inventory. Detached homes are at 3 months of inventory. Look at semis, towns, condos. These are low. These months of inventory just show a strength in the market. It shows how strong the market actually is, and prices with these kinds of months of inventory are not expecting to drop, or if they do, it's not by a lot. So we're in a very strong market, a very healthy market, and I say that because I still get calls of people saying, oh, the market has shifted, or the bubble has burst, or I don't know where people are coming up with these, but when I'm looking at the actual numbers, real data, it's telling me something different. It's telling me our market is extremely strong, very healthy. There are two areas, two neighborhoods in Vaughan I want to bring your attention to. One of them is Sonoma Heights. Now, Sonoma Heights, January and February this year had 0 sales, but it's picked up in a big way. From August, September, October, the price has shot up each month, and from September to October alone, we went up by 7.6%. Now, the October price of $1,128,000, that's a 21-month high. Things are going good in Sonoma. Prices are extremely strong. And the other area I want to mention is Maple. Now, from September to October, you can see that prices dropped by 7%. It doesn't concern me so much because the September price of $1,128,000, that was a 30-month high. Like, we can't keep breaking records every month. So if it's come down since then, it's not the end of the world. And when we look at the October price, it's actually higher than it's been for most of the year. Those are some of the insights for what's happening in our neighborhood. My name is Santo Sessa with RE/MAX Premier. You can download the whole report. There's so much more I haven't spoken about if you go to VaughanMarketReport.ca. The timing, the market, everything is good. I know some of you have it in your head that, oh, it's winter now and things are terrible. Our prices are strong. And we do activity. We've sold and bought homes between October to January through the Christmas season every single year. So if you're looking to sell, I got to tell you, there's fewer competition out there right now. It's a great time to sell. If you're looking to buy, sellers that are on the market right now are pretty serious and they want to get sold, so it's a good time to buy also. Again, if you have questions, give me a call. Download the whole report at VaughanMarketReport.ca. If you don't do any of that but feel compelled to help us out, I would love for you to subscribe. Send us a comment below. Love to hear from you. Have a great day. Thanks.